Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Duneske, where before I talk about what's going on in the video, I want to address a couple of things that have happened in the last couple of days and stuff. This is take two. Normally there isn't a take two because, you know, this is post-commentary. Except the video itself is take two. Take one kinda got abandoned last night because of a minor major issue that happened where I'm not sure what the entire story is, but the local substation had a bit of a problem. The electricity substation might add. And yeah, we had a blackout and I forgot to save the file, and that wasn't necessarily good. I lost about 4 or 5 hours work, most of it off camera. So I kind of dumped the footage that I had, which, you know, bit of a shame, but oh well. Second thing, and this is kind of a bunch of things, today is Wednesday, it is 10:30 PM, and I found out earlier today some, for me, really good news. Robot Wars, my absolute favourite program when I was growing up, is coming back. Oh yes. Oh, that just made me so happy. I hope that like Razor and Hypnodisc are still in it, because they're my two favourites, so hoping that's the case and they don't have too many silly gimmicks in the rules. But yeah, 6 episodes of Robot Wars are coming back to the BBC at some point, and I forgot when. That's good. There was something less good, but I can't remember. Always good. Oh yeah, other thing. When you're watching this, assuming you're watching it at 3 PM, well, when this is published, 3 PM Saturday, I won't be at my computer for once. I'll actually, possibly even while you're watching this, be in Limerick, in Thomond Park, watching Munster play against Stade Francais. Yes, I am leaving the house and going to see a sports ball match. Rugby is one of the only sports that I do follow, and Munster is my local team, essentially. So, yeah. So, loads of stuff been happening, and surprisingly all of it good. Bank balance not so much, which is kind of why I encourage you to disable ad block. And to the person who said that telling people to watch ads is against YouTube terms of service, it's actually against the terms of partnership, and I never tell people, I don't believe I've ever told people explicitly to watch ads. I've told people to disable, I've asked to disable ad block and explained how the ads work, so it's actually well within the confines of the partnership agreement that I can explain how the ad system works. Not releasing any figures, but explain exactly what constitutes an ad view for the people who do want to watch ads, which I think is a reasonable thing to do. Is just, you know, because I know before I read that piece that I this is going back a while, by the way. Before I read the piece that I was explaining, I thought that if you clicked on the skippable ads, you know, skip ad, that it still counted as a view because, hey, I've looked at the ad. No, it doesn't. You actually have to watch the entire skippable ad for it to count. Unskippable ones always count as an ad view, I believe, unless you, like, refresh the page or something. They always count as ad views. Skippable ads only count if you watch to the end. So if you do wish to watch ads, and if you do have ad block disabled, now you know what constitutes an ad view. So you can make up your own minds. You know, you all know which one I prefer. Now, talking about what's actually going on. I am finishing up another loop today. As you can see, I'm having to do some fiddling with 1 meter segments because, hey, why should Why would I have any luck in getting this all done properly? Now, it does look like I've gone wrong here, doesn't it? Well, no, because I'm just going to do some minor tinkering and get it all lined up properly. At the end of tomorrow's video will show the other side of that, where I really don't get it right and pretty much have to try and figure out what on earth to do, and I haven't figured that out yet. I've had a bit of a weird day. Good, but weird. And tomorrow's video I'm going to have to commentate tomorrow, because tomorrow for me even, because it's 10:30, my sister will be going to sleep soon, and I don't want to be rude, because she has work in the morning, I believe. What day is today? Wednesday. Yes, she has work in the morning. So yeah, bit of a weird few days, and I haven't been sleeping well, so that's a thing. Yeah, still working on laneways. I think we are nearing the halfway point of being done with the lanes, roughly speaking. There are some really tough ones to come, but I think what I'm going to do in the next week or two, and I know I've been saying this for a few weeks now, what I will be doing soon is I will have to find a pair of bridges. I'm going to go for a pair of bridges that I like. One I want to try and be a suspension bridge, because the one in real life in that area is a suspension bridge. The one over the river, by the way. The real life bridge there is suspension bridge, and the other can just be a random railway bridge of some description. And yeah, that's gonna kind of be the next thing. Once we got all the loops done out, is pretty much getting the other side of the map set up, which is gonna be fun. Now, as always, when I'm doing post commentary, I am watching the videos as I go, so I can see any issues. Normally I don't actually do that with normal commentary, because, you know, playing, and I don't really like... I'm weird, I don't like listening to the sound of my own voice, which is kind of odd for YouTubers, I guess. And yeah, my biggest problem is the terrain here, because it just keeps going back to not being the way that I want it. Especially seeing as I had to do kind of a custom, weird, funky, bizarre corner thing there. It just kept having a row with me. Did I fix that little bit there? I did. Good. Oh, there's another bit there. It's annoying me. Please tell me I fixed that. Yeah, I did. And then I immediately broke it again. Well done, me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just watching this and I'm like, oh god, please tell me I fix this and this and this. And when you see me zoom into the ground like that, I'm actually checking to see if the ground is at least mostly level. I don't expect it to be, you know, 100% smooth and flat. I just don't want to see a massive, massive pyramid of ground. Just sticking up a massive pyramid of terrain, I guess, sticking out of the ground. That's why you see me, you know, zooming into the ground every so often. I'm just checking to see exactly how level it is. Now this over here is... what am I doing here? I can't remember what I'm doing here. Is this the finishing off the second loop? I'm not quite sure where I am. Oh no, this is still finishing off the first one. I do move on to a second loop later on in the video. I also do some kind of housekeeping kind of stuff, which is a bit unusual for me. You know, normally I just crack on, do pretty much whatever happens, but today I decided to do some housekeeping on the map, because some of the laneway parts were set to clip distance of 500 meters, and well, a clip distance of 500. I wanted them as 2500 because that's what everything else is set to, and I didn't want them to just suddenly disappear and leave massive holes in the ground. So I changed the clip distances, and I'm just checking out FSUK while I'm kind of commentating here because I'm talking about something that I can't, well, that I can see, but you know, doesn't particularly impact on the video. I wanted to talk about something, but I can't remember what. Nuts. I'm great, aren't I? Oh, there was something I really wanted to talk about today, but I can't remember now. Oh yes, this is me trying to figure out where the mysterious small bit of asphalt is. And I will realise eventually. When will I realise? There we go, that was the small bit of asphalt that was causing all the problems. And oh yeah, this is a thing. I decided that I'd draw the outlines of the various yards and things in gravel, just so that I had an idea of where they're going to be, and so that they stand out on the map as a whole. So I'm kind of spray painting that in right now. And I don't know if it's in this video or in the next one. You'll find out by the end, I guess. I do lay out a second yard. I'm not going to say they will definitely be yards. A second area that I plan to be paved. Now whether it's... Now, I haven't figured out what kind of stuff I'm going to do with the yards and stuff like that yet. I'm just laying them out in gravel so that they're kind of set aside on the map itself. Because pretty much everywhere there's grass or something like that, I'm going to have bushes and trees and stuff like that, and I want to try, not 100%, but try and get some of the yards to be a bit cleaner than you'd normally see on maps. And here I am going through all of the laneways trying to find the misset clip distances. I had to go through every single one, and I know there's actually a road somewhere in there, which is always lovely. Oh, it's always lovely to find something set in the wrong transform group. But I fixed that fairly quickly. Now I've kind of decided that once I've got the roads and stuff in, here I am just swapping transform groups. And I spotted, didn't even spot it when I selected the main road transform group. But also there's some grass there that annoys me, so away we go. I didn't spot it when I chose the main road transform group, but the missing piece of road was not the one that I'd moved. It's one of those annoying things where you spot it after the fact, even at 4 times speed, which is of course what I do post commentary on, is normally 4 times speed. Unless I've, for whatever reason, lost my voice temporarily, or I'm on the phone, I guess. I could do that, in fact, just do videos while on the phone. Never thought of that. Now I'm just kind of trying to fix up these fields so they have somewhat decent boundaries. Well, somewhat decent edges. The boundaries are going to be fun, and I have heard rumours that there's a way of doing wonky shaped boundaries, although it is difficult. So I may consider doing that if I can find a description of the method. The issue there is you have to be like trebly sure of everything, which I am not. So I'll use one of 2 methods. So there, I'm just, I don't know what exactly I'm checking. Oh yes, I wanted to put my apologies, a little dirt lane into this field, and I laid it out like that, and then decided no, don't want it to go that way. So then I decided no, I'm going to follow the tree line and bring it into the corner of the field. I just laid out a bit of a mess because I think I'm going to leave that as a bit of an open gap in the hedges. And put a gate just beyond the laneway itself, as opposed to at the entrance of the field itself. We're about halfway now by the looks of it, and I'm starting work on the second loop, which isn't a full loop. And when I say loop, it's just from a random point that has already been done to another point that has already been done. It's not, starting and doing a full loop of the map or of an area. It's just kind of I'm trying to link them all together. So every loop that I do, I try and find the next loop in line to do, and then I do it. So when this loop is done, the next loop is pretty much right beside the... Is it this loop or the next? No, it's the next loop. When the next loop is done, the loop afterwards is going to actually be linked into that directly. And the second of those two loops is actually going to be the easier one, because of where it is. These laneways are really... I have to guess that they're grating on you at this point. I mean, you guys have been getting, on the weekends, every time I do Duneske, I'm talking about lanes and laneways and plans, and it almost seems like I'm making no progress, which is partially true. Yes, progress is slow because I'm trying to keep up with a million different things, and there's so much just cropping up out of nowhere. I only found out for definite about the Munster match, for example, today, on Wednesday, so I pretty much have to record Monday and Tuesday's videos, or Monday and Wednesday's videos, tomorrow, Thursday, or possibly Friday. So that kind of gets in the way a small bit. I do, however, have a phone holder for my desk now, so I'm using my tablet as a base for the phone holder because it won't actually grip the desk itself, which is beautiful. I'm watching this, and it's kind of funny watching my mouse just spaz around the screen. It never stops entertaining me, and I know it's a bit sad, or a bit weird that, I'm watching this and I'm laughing at my own mouse going haywire, because in real time I was actually making reasonably slow calculated movements. I know, well, when I was doing the terrain I was. With the roads, it was just trying to get it done as quickly as I could and as well as I could. And I'm definitely starting to get more confident on the placement of the roadway. And I'm going to say it's a roadway because it really is. I'm getting a lot more confident on my placement of that, so it's getting quicker and quicker. So I'm kind of... the longer this takes, the faster I'm going to get at doing it, which will save time. So, the amount of time left, this is... I'm never going to explain this properly, I don't think. The estimated amount of time left every hour is actually reducing by, an hour and 10 minutes. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Not that much, but the estimated time left is actually reducing faster than the time I'm taking. Just because I'm getting more and more confident and figuring out little tricks I can use. And now that I'm pretty much after stopping trying to do maths in my head. Mental arithmetic is fun and all, but it's a lot easier to just open up calculator on your phone or on your PC and go 78.63 minus 90. Which, by the way, is minus 22.63, I believe. But it's a lot easier to just work out at those kind of measurements when I'm putting in corners or something. Working with a calculator. Unfortunately, I can't do that with slopes because they're actually degrees and not. They're actually measured in degrees and not meters down or up. So I can't really work with that at all. I'm looking through news at the moment and there's very, very little. Do I not have entertainment news? I don't. Apparently there's KFC everywhere in China. This is the sort of stuff that I read. As I go to the BBC News app and I go to a magazine and it's just about KFC in China. Oh dear. China the country, not the former WWE wrestler. Sorry, sports entertainer. Because apparently wrestling is a naughty word. And yes, I do follow WWE very loosely. Very, very, very loosely. I'm a very casual fan. Yeah, I think the Royal Rumble's on soon. I might try and find out when that is. But I don't know if I'll watch it. It depends on what time, what day it's on. If it's on Saturday, I probably won't. Sorry if I'm going quiet. I haven't been sleeping well and it's just kind of catching up with me a small bit. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this. I've been going to bed at somewhat reasonable hours. Now, for me, a reasonable hour is 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. That's reasonable for me. I know that in usually America, Canada, those places, that's seen as very, very late. Most people would see that as very late at night to be going to bed. I see that as a reasonable time, and for one reason only, is because I usually, when my sleeping pattern is by my standards bad, I'm going to sleep at, or going to bed, not necessarily going to sleep, at 5, 6, 7 in the morning. So 1 or 2, that's a reasonable time for me to be going to bed. I'm going to sleep, normally around 2 or 3. So I've been going to bed at 1 or 2 because I've been really, really tired lately, and there's a reason behind it. And I go to bed at 12, 1, 2, whatever time I just feel particularly tired. It's probably going to be as soon as this video is rendered and started uploading tonight, being quite honest. And I'll go to bed and I'll sleep. And last night I think was the worst. Last night I went to bed at about 12-ish. And I woke up an hour and a half later because nature called, and I was like, oh my god, why? Of course, when I wake up, I can't get back to sleep. So I woke up at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30. And here I am, sat in bed wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning because, well, my body had decided I'd already slept. You don't need to sleep again, so I just kind of laid in bed for a while watching YouTube videos. Or desperately trying to find something to watch at the very least. I managed to get back to sleep and woke up again at like 7 o'clock this morning, which... still bad, but it's better than most days. I've been getting... because I use a sleep tracker app on my phone called Sleepbot, and that's regularly been showing up 4.5 hours lately. 4 hours 23 minutes, 4 hours, so in the region of 4 hours 20 minutes and 4 hours 40 minutes, and that's for the last 4 or 5 days now, and it's just really starting to catch up with me. And I mean, it's better than waking up in the mid-afternoon, yes, but I would quite like, well, I'm waking up in the morning, which is the upside. The downside is I'm not really sleeping as such. And here you can see I'm trying to come up with a good place to link up these 4 roads of the crossroads. I have decided this is my position. So I copy and paste the figures into this, or into the crossroads, and just flip the X and I'll flip all 3 coordinates. For those of you who don't know, if you use Giants Editor and you put in, we'll say, a crossroads like that, especially with Road Construction Kit V3, what you can do is you can flip the X and, sorry, if you change the X and Z coordinates to either 0 or 180, whatever is the opposite of what is already there, so say it's 0, you set it to 180. If it's 180, you set it to 0. You take the figure, this is to rotate something by exactly 180 degrees, by the way. You take the figure that's already there and you just put a minus in front of it, so you're flipping it essentially 360 degrees. Or 180 degrees, and by flipping all 3 axes it does work out properly. So you could be moving something by as little as, in real terms, 2 degrees. 1 degree positive to 1 degree negative, but because you've flipped the X and the X and Z axes, it's been flipped completely on its end, and now it's being flipped by 180 degrees as a net result. Good lord, I need to get more sleep. I'm really sorry, I'm just complaining about how I haven't been sleeping. Well, there's something gaming related came up in the news recently. No, I think I'm just imagining it. I'm gonna come clean here. If I can speak English, gonna come clean here real quick. This morning I was thinking, oh, maybe I could do a competition, a map making competition, and have Gold Edition as just the Gold DLC, not the full game with Gold. Unfortunately, I couldn't ever stretch that far at the moment. As a prize, you guys make a map in 3-4 months, and I give you the prize of Gold Edition for the map I decide is the best. Thing is, I checked my bank account details, and my bank balance most importantly. That is a bit too low for me to be running competitions. So unfortunately it's not going to be a thing. I wish it could be. I really do wish I could, have money. And any money I get from donations, which you'll notice there hasn't been a donation thank you video lately, that I haven't got any donations to thank people for. Any donations I get will pretty much go into FS17 cattle and crops if it is real. I would say professional farmer, whatever nonsense they're coming up, UIG are bringing out this year, but no, I'm not giving UIG my money. I'm sorry if you're a big UIG fan, but no. They've had ample time to prove themselves as competent, and they've failed. Now I'm almost out of time. I want to talk about one more thing, but I'll leave that until tomorrow. And the other thing is very pertinent to the channel. It's to do with my internet connection, and it's not particularly good news, unfortunately. So I am going to leave it here. This video is going to be another minute or so long. Probably less. I can check if I come up in here. Yeah, it's going to be less than a minute left now. Oh, it's almost done. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow when hopefully I'll be more awake and not recording at 11 o'clock at night because I'm an idiot. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.